Old Koskoosh sat in the snow, wrapped in a thick robe of fur. The fire before him crackled low, its light glowing softly on the white ground. Snowflakes drifted down from the grey sky, landing gently on his shoulders and melting into the warm skin of his face. The wind whispered through the trees, but the camp behind him was silent now. His people had gone. They had packed up their sleds, gathered their dogs, and set out into the white wilderness in search of food, as they always did. But this time they had not taken him. His eyes were dim, his legs no longer strong, his breath came slow and shallow. There was no room in the sled for one who could no longer walk. He was not angry, he was not afraid, this was not a cruel thing. This was the law of life. He had followed this law all his days, and now it had come for him, just as it had come for his father, and for his father's father before that. In the far north, where the snow never left the ground and the days could be colder than death, the law was simple: the tribe must live. And for the tribe to live, the old must stay behind. Koskoosh knew this. He accepted it, as he always had. He leaned closer to the fire, feeling its warmth on his cheeks. It was not much warmth, but it was something. A small gift before the cold swallowed him whole. He listened. He could no longer see far, but his ears still worked. Somewhere in the distance he heard the last sounds of the tribe: the snap of a whip, the creak of a sled, the short barking of a dog, and then silence. They were gone. He was alone. Still, he did not feel sorry for himself. He was not a child. He was an old man, a chief once, a hunter, a leader of people. He had lived many winters. He had seen rivers freeze and break open again. He had watched the stars turn and turn in the sky. He had known hunger and joy, fear and triumph. And he remembered it all. The memories came like smoke from the fire, soft and curling. He remembered a hunt long ago, the thrill of chasing a great caribou across the ice. He and the other hunters had followed its tracks for hours, their breath sharp in the cold air. When they finally caught it, they sang songs and painted their faces. The tribe had eaten well that night. He remembered the birth of his son, now the new chief. How small he had been, bundled in soft skins, blinking up at the world. That child was a man now, tall, strong and wise. Koskoosh had taught him to track, to fish, to speak wisely in council. And now the son had led the tribe away, just as he should. He remembered his own father. Long ago, sitting just like this, left behind in the snow with a little fire and a bundle of sticks. He had cried then. He had not understood. But now, with the cold curling into his bones, he did. This was the way. He looked out across the white world. Everything was still. The trees stood tall and bare, the snow covered everything in silence. And beneath that silence, the old man felt the deep, slow heartbeat of the earth. The rhythm of time. Of nature. Of all living things. A rhythm that did not pause for sorrow or fear. He thought of the moose. Long ago he had watched a great moose, old and alone, being hunted by wolves. The moose had fought bravely, its huge antlers swinging, its hooves kicking the snow. But age had stolen its speed. The wolves were young, fast, and many. At last the moose had fallen. Koskush had watched, hidden among the trees. He had felt sadness then, but also something else. A quiet understanding. The moose had lived its life. And the wolves had theirs to live. The snow had fallen. And the world had gone on. Now he too was the moose. The fire hissed. It was lower now. Only a few sticks remained. Koskush reached out with trembling fingers and placed another branch onto the flames. The light grew for a moment, throwing shadows on the snow. He watched it, thinking how like a life of fire was. Bright, warm, full of dancing light. And then slowly fading into ash. He heard something. A soft sound, snow crunching, a quiet sniff in the air. The wolves. They had come, just as he knew they would. They had followed the scent of smoke and man. They were patient, waiting just beyond the circle of light. They would not rush. They knew what he knew. He was too old to run, too old to fight. Still he felt no fear. He did not call out. He did not beg. He sat quietly, wrapped in his robe, the last of his fire burning low. His breath came slower now. His heartbeat was soft and even. He closed his eyes. He saw the stars above the river. He saw his people dancing in the firelight. He saw the moose in the snow, the wolves in the trees, and the sun rising over the frozen hills. He felt the wind on his face and the strong grip of his father's hand. And he smiled. He had lived. And now he would return to the land, as all things do, as all things must. Because this was the law of life.